Yep, as I remember to turn my microphone on. I've done this before. May not seem like it, but I have. I definitely have. Good cue to turn down the music, though, and get into the stream. Thanks, everybody, for joining. Today is going to be a special episode of Whiskey Wednesday. We're going to do a short story, and it's going to be a horror story today to fit in, theme with the spooky month of Halloween, right? I mean, the writers have their Aughtober. We have Spooktober. I don't know. That's not good. I'll come up with something. Maybe. I don't know. But anyways, we're reading a short horror story today. It's going to be fun. It's going to be great. I love doing the narrations for the short stories for the Other Stories podcast. And if you are into short horror stories that are pretty well produced, you might want to check them out. Mama Rednecks, hey, how's it going? Spooky Whiskey Wednesday. Exactly. We have the horror music going. The lighting is a little different. It's red in the background. I figured out how to do that. I'm like feeling accomplished and, pat myself on the back for that one. I learned how to turn on a light that has color. So it's not blue today. It's red. It's spooky. Getting in the mood. Changing up the music. I learned 10 minutes before the stream started how to do local music from your computer on Spotify. So I'm learning things. It's good. Yeah. Tonight it's going to be good. The story, I've read through it kind of once to get the gist of what the tale is. And I have to tell you, it's good. I think you're going to enjoy it. It's good. It's really good writing. Isaac, if you can see down there, Isaac oh man, I'm going to mess that up. I'm not even going to try it. That guy. I'm going to butcher it. My name's hard. My last name's hard. And it's only 4 letters. For every combination of it you can think of. It's Fife. It's hard. I don't want to butcher it, though. Because I didn't hear him say it. So I'm just going to... Isaac. I know that one. Not Asimov. Isaac. That guy. Also today, before I forget, that way. There we go. I'm going to get the hang of it one day, I swear. Art by Zoe. Check her out on X. And she does book covers that you'll kind of see popping up there. And different illustrations. She's an artist. That's what I'm getting at. And she's really talented. She's really good. And I think you should check her out. Or at least check out her work. And hey, if you're an author and you're looking for a book cover, one-stop shop. Head on over to x.com/artbyzoe. Pick yourself up some stuff. Which is good. As you can tell, just by the little mini things going on up there. She gave me a couple more today, which I think are really cool. Like her, she did a 3D rendering of Link from Zelda. And it's really good. So anyways, super talented. I'm going to actually have her do some stuff for me here soon. I have some homework I have to get done for my audiobook coaching thing. And I'm going to commission her to do it. Because I'm not good with the graphic stuff. I'm not, I have my strengths. And I have my weaknesses. And I'm aware that art is one of my weaknesses. I don't have that thing, right? Like you see an artist in their element and they have that thing. I have the lack thereof of that thing. I can open Photoshop. Not very good at it. That's why there's people that are good at it. You find those people and you use them. Cheshire Bats, hello, how's it going? Nice to see you here. Usually run into you in Will's stream, so nice to see you. Asking for help is never weakness, it's wisdom. Right? A little bit of bearded wisdom on this channel. And that goes a long way with the graphics, so yeah, check her out there. I also have, I have the stream commands. I gotta check them out. So you can do, if I'm typing into the right place here, we can do author. Tell you a little bit about the author. Hopefully that works. And the thing is up. No, it's not. Why isn't it working? Oh, because it's not that. It's author info. I don't even know my own commands. There's a little bit about the author there. Likes birds. I get a heavy feeling that he likes birds. Which is interesting, because he's not too nice to the birds in this story tonight. You're going to see in just a few minutes. Not too nice. But we'll get there. But yeah, he's kind of just getting back into the swing of things, took some time off of writing, is getting back into it. I don't know why he stopped. He's really good at it. I think you're really going to enjoy the story. I loved my first read through of it. He's really good. So I think you guys are going to enjoy this story. I mean, it's not pleasant. This is a horror-themed short story, so keep that in mind. It's not pretty, but it's really well written. It's a really good story. If you like that stuff. Birds, yeah, slowly backs into a lurk. See you there, Mama Rednecks. If you're going to go on lurk, thank you for stopping by at least for a little bit of time, and thanks for the lurk if you're lurking. I appreciate it. I really do. But yes, we're going to read some stuff tonight, and let me put out the artist's info as well, so you can check out that link there as well. If you're not into typing and you're more into just clicking on links, there you go. If you're lazy like me, you can just click on it. Perfect. Yes. So let's grab our glasses of whatever we're drinking tonight and enjoy. It could be water. It could be a beverage, a whiskey, a bourbon like I'm enjoying tonight. It doesn't matter. Just sit back, relax, enjoy some short horror stories tonight, because that's what it's all about. So we're going to get through the short story. I'm going to actually try to record it tonight while we do it live. We'll see how that goes. Recording is always a thing with Punch and Roll, because you kind of got to get it right? You can't just push through the mistakes. But hey, it'll help with the flub counters, which I reset to 0. Get those typing fingers ready for the exclamation point flubs. There's probably going to be a lot tonight. Tonight's story is set in, I think it's set in Boston, or at least the main character is from Boston. So we're going to try out our Boston accent. It might be terrible. It's not going to be terrible, but we're going to have a lot of flubs. So let's just get used to it. Let's, get it through that we're going to have a lot of those today. I'll be around though. I don't do birds. Oh, it's actually, it's not about birds. It's just some birds, they don't make it. So there's that. It's not like Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds or anything, but he likes birds, and he's not nice to him in the story. He's not nice. No, he's not nice. Alrighty, just checking on the chats there. Oh, I'm fine. Okay. If it's a horror story about birds, I will put that in the trigger warning just to let you know. The trigger warning tonight is just, we're going to talk about suicide, so if that's not your thing, check out now. Forewarned, but it's not crazy or anything, but the story does mention it and talks about it and suicidal thoughts. So it goes along with the story. You'll see it'll make sense here in a minute, but just to put that out there in case that is triggering for you. I want to make sure that we're clear on that kind of stuff, and I'll try to put warnings on there for the different types of things that we're reading and everything, just in case. Also, if you're joining in, just like the look at that timing. Look at that timing. If you're new and you have a favorite ice cream flavor, or if you haven't contributed, what's your favorite ice cream flavor? Drop that down below. There we go. Neff, what's up? I'll probably be tuning into your stream later if you're streaming tonight. Even if it's not my thing, I'll just turn the volume down to 1% and turn something else up. Got to share that engagement. I appreciate it. Strawberry. Oh, Cheshire. Let's add strawberry to the list because you've contributed. Really, favorite flavor, strawberry. All right, that's good. We've got a couple of them. If you type in exclamation point, I think it's ice cream. No, exclamation point FF for favorite flavor. It'll tell you what we have gathered so far, and I'll add yours to the list. I can't believe we don't have strawberry yet. You'd think that'd be like the flavors of Neapolitan, right? Your chocolate, your vanilla, your strawberry, you think would be on the list, but they weren't the fresh ones out of the batch. Mine was butterscotch. Love me some butterscotch. All right, let's get into the stream. Oh, that's me too. I have like 8 tabs open and I flip through about every 15 minutes. I see you, both of you, everywhere. And I see Cheshire Bats in there sometimes too. I don't know how you all do it. I try to flip through like 2, and then I get confused on where I'm at. So power to you guys. Maybe I just need more experience flipping through the things. I'm still kind of new to it, so I'll get there. Maybe I'll get on the Mama Rednecks and the Neff levels one day. Not there yet, but maybe one day. Oh, hey, you broke 50. I did! And really, large part, thanks to you and everybody that's here right now. Thank you so much. I hit 50 really quick, and it's absolutely crazy. So I guess Now I just have to get the 3 constant viewers for average viewers or something. I don't know what the heck that means, but I need something that's average time or people or whatever that, yeah, I don't know. But yes, I did. I feel like you've had at least 3 people in here for the time you've been in, so you should be damn close to affiliate. Okay, so you need, okay, you if I would have read the rest of your sentence, would have answered my damn question. Okay, I need 3 people to be in. That's what the average thing is. Okay. You need to get into October with us. Come get some shout outs. Okay. I've been kind of perusing around writer channels and looking at the October stuff. And while everybody's writing and doing their sprints and their what's the term that I learned for Pomodoros, I've been doing like, you know, signing up for trying to get authors and doing audiobook stuff and social media stuff. So I'm, you know, I'm being productive too at the same time. At the same time of doing my day job. Don't tell them. So, you know, I'm getting stuff in. Not working. Trying the October sprint stuff. I'm just not writing, really. I don't know about... I have barely controlled ADHD, and I can only pay attention. Pay attention to multiple streams. Oh, you can only pay attention to multiple streams. I mean, maybe I need to dip into that a little bit. I mean, I can derail a conversation like anybody. Just made it. Hopefully this isn't about birds. At near hate. At near hate. I'm probably butchering that name too on YouTube. Hello. Thanks for joining us. No, it's not about birds. It's just a couple of birds meet their end. So, which is, I was saying earlier, a little interesting because the author really loves birds. But he's not nice to him in the story. So it's not Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds, though. So it's just some meet their untimely end, as you'll see. Average of 3 hourly viewers over the course of a 30-day period. For instance, a channel I mod for got 200-person raid one night. Whoa. And most of the raiders were lurkers, so they made affiliate that day. Ah, okay. That's great. 200? Wow. Poor birds. I know, poor birds. You'll see. Oh, nice. Come in and hang out with us. Put out a stream on Discord. We can call it lighting the beacon, and we'll come help drive numbers up. Well, I appreciate that. I'll have to check that out. I am also not the savviest with Discord, but I'm catching on. I made a channel for me and my son so that mostly it's me telling him to come downstairs for dinner because he's on his computer with his headphones on and he can't hear me, and I'm tired of yelling up at him like, dinner time! You know what I mean? And then by the time I have to walk up the 2 flights of stairs and pound on his door, I'm angry, and I don't want to do that. My blood pressure is already high, so I just message him on Discord. So I'm figuring it out. He's helping me get there. You know what I mean? So, double checked, by the way, and Discord does require that you put in the full hyperlink. Oh, that's how I messed it up. Yeah, I was trying to because Neff was like, hey, put in my Discord when you go live, and I'm like, oh, okay, and then I put the stuff in there. But I didn't put the https:// whatever you're supposed to put in there, and it didn't. Okay, so the full thing. Got it. Now we know. Now we're educated in Discord hyperlink etiquette. Got it. Oh, honey, I'm right there with you. Discord has grown on me the last 16 days. Yeah, it's interesting. It's like a whole new thing. Kind of reminds me of remember ICQ? Back in the day. If I know I'm dating myself a little bit, but if you couldn't tell by the beard, I've been around a little bit. But it kind of reminds me of like a combo of like ICQ and like MIRC chat and like AOL Online. Anyways, it's kind of cool. I like it. And ICQ. I loved ICQ. I loved ICQ as well. I was literally typing that. It's like that, isn't it? Right? It totally reminds a little bit like the, you know, obviously there's very big differences, but I loved all those things when I was growing up, like the ICQ, the Ventrilo that we used to use for gaming. They might actually still be around. I'm not even sure. Roger Wilco, if you remember that. Anyways, none of this is about what we're going to read about. We're going to read about some horror stories, and we should probably get you know, to the booth before people are like, what is this? What is this? I came here for reading, and we're talking about ICQ and AOL Online and Roger Wilco, whatever the heck that was. Let's get to it, shall we? Let's grab our beverages and relax. Well, you can relax I'm gonna go resist the heat and try not to mess up 8 billion times, but it'll be fun. Here we go. Focus. Aim. AOL Instant Messenger for the win. Here we go to the booth. I'm gonna turn actually. I think I'm gonna turn the music off a little bit because I'll figure that out for next stream. I know I've been saying that, but I will. I promise. But it's so loud, it's like distracting for me. So I'm gonna turn it down. We're gonna be quiet. We're gonna be, and maybe I'll turn it on again, like on a break or something when I inevitably digress and won't be able to get through 2 pages. But there we go. Going to the booth. See you there. Just a second. Gotta bring my drink. And I gotta put up the script because my desktop isn't gonna do it. There we go. Hopefully you guys can see that. You can do it. I believe in you. Oh, thank you, Neff. At least one of us does. Yeah, I gotta do the thing. I still need to get Bluetooth. I think I'm gonna just change this whole thing. I'm gonna change this. Oh, I gotta grab my phone too. Boop. Ah, I'm here. I'm here. I got one of those cameras that has to like see your face. I'm here. Here. Focus. All right. All right. And then when it doesn't see my face, it tries to go to the ceiling. That's interesting. Wonder if you turn that off. Probably. All right. So I haven't figured out how I'm going to resolve this issue where if I need to listen to this one, it's actually a separate computer. So I need 2 headsets. So it's going to look real weird. Oh, no. No. I didn't mean to click. Stop. There we go. Started recording. Nothing. All right. I'll be right back. I got to get my phone. I'll be right back so I can see chat. Oh. At the desk. We got to turn off the air conditioning. Oh, all right. I think we finally have what we need. All right. Here we go. Got our adult beverage in the booth so that when I just can't handle the mistakes anymore, you can help me get there. All right. Down here. Down here. Down. Focus. Focus. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. How are we going to do this? Very carefully. And then this time, I load it up so I can see, I can switch back and forth between YouTube and Twitch. Did I close it? No, I didn't. Okay. Boom. Now I can see chat on Twitch, and it's not working. Stream manager. Yay! There we go. Now I can see chat again. I don't know what that did, but... Okay, and then I can switch back and forth. Cool. I figured it out. We got there. We got there. Okay. All right. And then make sure this is actually working. Perfect. Okay, I can see it. All right. Let's get into this. I need this a little bigger. Otherwise, I can't read that. Okay. Everybody hear me all right? Hopefully. We're going to start going here in just a second. This is titled The Grinners by Isaac. Not even going to try to pronounce his last name because I'll mess it up. Okay. Kozukhin? Sorry. I don't know. Sounds super, or sounds fine to me. I put in super because I wanted it to sound super. All right. Let's take a sip of our beverage and then get into this one, The Grinners. And then actually after this is done, it'll be fully produced and it'll be put on to the Other Stories podcast, which is a short horror story podcast. 2 gentlemen started out of the UK, and they take in submissions. So if you're a writer and you like writing short horror stories, or if you have one that you've written that you think might fit that month's theme, because they do a theme for the month like aliens or AI or something, you could submit your story to them. And if it gets selected, Then you become a writer for that month. They select your story. They hand it off to a narrator like myself. I narrate it. Then it goes to the producers. They do all the sound effects and cleanup and all that kind of stuff. And then they put music behind it, fully produce it, and put it on the podcast. Super cool opportunity. Cost you nothing other than writing a short story. So, hey, it's a way to get your work out there and get a little bit more exposure and hear it being narrated and then played on a podcast. I think it's kind of cool. So if you're interested in your writer, check it out. The Other Stories podcast. Just go to their website. You can Google that one. I think it's theotherstories.net. Don't quote me. I should know this because I've been working for them since 2015. But I don't. I don't have it memorized. I don't know why. I think it's theotherstories.net though. But you'll know. It's very obvious it's a horror-themed short story podcast. But anyways, before we digress, let's get into it. Here we go. Let's make sure. Okay, cool. The Bluetooth's working. And this Bluetooth keyboard likes to just randomly stop working. So we're going to deal with that too. So that'll be fun. Here we go. Everyone got eaten yesterday, except for me, which is ironic since I was really hoping to get eaten yesterday, and I don't think the people who got eaten wanted to get eaten. Funny how it worked that way. Not that it was a coincidence or anything, just funny. Yesterday was Wednesday, and it was a pretty nice Wednesday, I think. I was at McDonald's in Boston, which is where I'm from. Boston, not the McDonald's. I was sitting at the booth eating lunch. I'd been there since like 1 p.m., and the grinning creatures arrived at 4 p.m. My life was shit, still is shit, seeing as this was yesterday and things have only gotten worse. I don't like how I did that sentence, so we're going to redo it. There we go. We're going to redo this one. Flub counter. Boop. Hopefully that worked. All right. My life was shit. Still is shit, seeing as this was yesterday and things have only gotten worse. My therapist would have asked me what was wrong if my therapist hadn't been eaten by interdimensional grin. Boop, flubby flub. There we go. I lost my thing. Gotten worse. There we go. My therapist would ask me what was wrong if my therapist hadn't been eaten by interdimensional grin-faced abominations yesterday. I always hated that question. What's wrong? Because most of the time, nothing was wrong. I was just depressed. I suppose nothing is precisely what was bothering me. It's always lingered at the edge of my awareness when I felt all right. But when I'm depressed, it's all I can see, all I can taste, all I can feel. I'm inundated, suffocated, drowned in the thick, heavy nothing of it all. I was eating chicken nuggets and french fries yesterday when the creatures arrived. The food had gone cold hours before because I didn't want to eat. My face was numb. My hands were numb. My eyes could hardly focus. The pain of hunger was the only thing I could concentrate on, and I didn't want to kill that pain. Without the pain, I'd be left with only nothing. I was staring at the wad of ketchup at the corner of my plate, oozing slowly like the cloggy blood that lurched through my veins. I was suicidal, but not actively suicidal. I was just staring at the ketchup and praying to nothing, that all my blood would spontaneously congeal into ketchup like goo, and I'd die. Nothing refused to grant my wish, and at some point, I capitulated to my body's needs. My lizard brain decided that no amount of self-loathing was good enough to excuse. Nope. Good enough an excuse. Let's try that again. Shall we? Flubby flub flub. There we go. And at some point is where we will resume, right? At some point. All
And at some point, I capitulated to my body's needs. My lizard brain decided no amount of self-alo... Wow. Why am I having a hard time with that one? Whoa, 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 whoa. Not what I meant. There we go. My lizard brain decided that no amount of self-loathing was a good enough excuse to starve, so I dipped the cold, rubbery fries into the red goo and forced myself to eat. I hated the food. I wanted to throw it up. Eventually, I finished my fries. I looked out the window to avoid staring at the sweaty chicken nuggets that remained in front of me. In the parking lot, an empty-headed pigeon was pecking at the white flecks in the pavement as if they were crumbs. A pack of 5 teenagers puffed and preened and strutted by in a dull green Jeep with a battered Clinton cane sticker plastered on its ass. I sweltered. Nope, not I sweltered. A sweltering. Yay! A sweltering April sun bore down on everything outside. The AC inside the McDonald's was frigid. My mouth tasted like ketchup and bile. When the Grinners came, I thought I was having my first ever hallucination. I was glad, because hallucinating seemed like a much more entertaining way for my mind to betray me than the usual malaise. I said malaise weird. I was glad, wasn't I? All right. Flub counter. Almost forgot it. Hold yourself accountable. I was glad, because hallucinating seemed like a much more entertaining way for my mind to betray me than the usual malaise. It's hard to describe exactly how they arrived. How do you describe a creature stepping from an alien reality into ours? I suppose I should start with what happened just before. Inside the McDonald's and out in the parking lot. Okay. Here's the interesting sentence. I'm going to try this again. Boop. Probably going to mess this one up a whole bunch of times, so get ready. All right. Inside the McDonald's and out in the parking lot, then across the street and up in the sky, everything became tinged with the bilious, nauseous, jaundiced yellow. As far as I could tell, this happened lightning fast. One moment, I was engrossed in the pointless exploits of the empty-headed pigeon, and the next moment, everything looked like it was drowned in piss. I didn't feel much of a change. Nope. Boop. Try that again. Flubby flub. I didn't feel much of a change. That was apparently not the case for the other organisms around me. The pigeon ceased its pecking, sat down, closed its eyes, and laid its empty head on the pavement. It looked funny in a sickening way. Then a seagull slammed face first into the side of the Jeep, shattering its skull and spewing orange blood on the teenagers. It fell to the pavement in a heap of black gore and yellow feathers. The teenagers stared at the corpse. One of them collapsed to her knees. She let out a piercing sob and collapsed forward into the dead bird. Her companions put their heads in their hands and lay down and cried and muttered to themselves. Inside the McDonald's, the employees moaned and caterwauled and smashed their foreheads into the ice cream machine. In the street beyond the parking lot, a red sedan lurched over the curb towards the McDonald's. The driver, a weeping man in a well-ironed yellow shirt, floored it at the drive-thru window and blasted through the brick wall into the kitchen. The building shuddered. Steel screamed against steel. A man cried out in ecstatic agony. A moment of dizzy silence passed, and one of the employees began to laugh hysterically. I'm not sure if it was the same one who had screamed or one of his co-workers. Outside, the girl who collapsed by the mangled gull was clutching it like a stuffed animal. Another girl was lying face up on the pavement, tears streaming into her eyes while her nails cut gouges in her palms. A boy next to them was squatting with his face towards me, quietly yanking wads of curly hair from his head and gently placing them in a pile in front of him. He gawked at me, eyes Flub. He gawked at me. I lost my place real quick. Let me try that again. He gawked at me, eyes wild, face slack. Inky blood trickled from his scalp into the creases of his forehead. He reminded me of myself when I was a teenager, staring at the oozing cuts on my upper thigh, horrified and gratified by the violence I'd perpetrated on myself. I suppose the yellow haze affected me too, though it made little difference. I thought about slamming my head into the table as hard as I could. I thought about stuffing napkins down my throat until I could no longer breathe. I thought about squeezing packets of spicy buffalo sauce. Buffalo? Did you know there's buffalo sauce? Well, you do now. Buffalo. Let's try that again. All right, let's pick it up with the napkins. Where are we at with the napkins? I thought about stuffing napkins down my throat until I could no longer breathe. I thought about squeezing packets of spicy buffalo sauce into my eyes. The ambient feeling of suicidality had been with me all day. Nope. The thought. Because it had been with him all day. Boopity boop boop. Somebody just went to the bathroom. So I'm waiting for them to... Yep. That's the problem with having kind of thin walls. Having a bathroom right next to that thin wall is anytime somebody uses the facilities, the microphone's going to pick it up. So we're going to wait. We're going to wait. Hopefully it's a very short and productive use of the bathroom. And we can get back to it in just a second. How's everybody doing? How you guys doing? You enjoying the story so far? See, I told you, he's not very nice to the birds. Ouch. Oh, that is good. Let me check on YouTube here just to see if we've had any comments there, if anybody's talking. No, and that's fine. Hopefully you're enjoying the story if you're watching on there or listening on there. That is perfectly fine. I appreciate the lurks too. I do that a lot too when I'm trying to like work on stuff, so I get it. But I think it's a good story so far. Well, okay. I read the whole thing. I think it's a great story, but hopefully my attempt at Boston, Southie mixed with New York is working well. And it's not too bad there. Doing fine, and the story's engaging. Good. Like I said, like my pre-read through it, I really actually enjoyed this one. So I reached out to the author and I was like, hey, dude, I want to feature this thing on there. And he's like, heck yeah, man, go for it. And we talked for a little bit. And I'm like, dude, your writing's actually really good. Not every single story that I've read has been good. Most of them on the other stories, though, since they're going through and they're hand selecting them, they're all good. Some are better than others, which, and some stories are your cup of tea or they're not, right? It's not even necessarily, it doesn't even necessarily boil down to like bad writing, right? It's just, I didn't like that one as much as the last one or whatever, right? Everybody's got their own opinions, right? And you know what they say about opinions. All right, and I think we've left the bathroom, so I think we can proceed. As soon as I hit record, they're going to go back to the bathroom, though. Watch. All right, where did I leave off? The ambient feeling. The ambient feeling of suicidality that had been with me all day. Okay, that's why. It's because I have like a... There we go. iPad has this weird circle thing, and it was like right over the word. I probably would have messed it up anyways, but that didn't help. The ambient feeling of suicidality that had been with me all day coalesced into specific, actionable plans. The thing is, I've been dealing with thoughts like that my whole life. I've learned to ignore them, let them wash through me like waves in the ocean. I'm dealing with them now as I write, less than a day after the end of humanity. There are precious few people left on Earth. And All of us are suicidal wrecks. I suppose that most of us will be offing ourselves in the days to come. Is this my suicide note? I don't think so. I feel the need to write down what I saw yesterday because none of it feels real. It feels like an insane nightmare. But I went to my dad's condo this morning, and he was a chewed-up heap of gore. His flesh intermingled with his favorite green and purple flannel Adidas and sweat. I was trying to scroll and read, and I almost had it. But I couldn't quite get there. I almost had it. All right. His flesh intermingled. All right. There we go. Okay. Yeah. Looks like you guys are able to see it too. Okay, good. I always worry that like the word's getting cut off because on my screen it's like super tiny. It's so small I'd never be able to read that. But looks like you guys can. All right. His flesh intermingled. His flesh was. Okay, there we go. Did I already do the flub counter? I probably missed one. I'll give myself another one. You know, just to make it spicy. His flesh was intermingled with his favorite green and purple flannel and Adidas sweatpants, baking in the sun in front of his obliterated front door. I called his phone and it vibrated in the grass next to him. If this is a dream, it's a very convincing one. I needed to write this note because the Grinners won't leave me, like a cattle brand on my mind's eye, and yet I can't bring myself to describe them. After I wrote that last paragraph, I took a break to get some fresh air. I ended up watching a solitary vulture gorge itself on the mangled bodies of my neighbors, strewn about the street like chewed dip. Probably. You gotta say today before probably, because that's how the order of words work. Boop. So let's go back and try that again. Today is probably the best day of that vulture's life. Maybe I should start with how the Grinners ate. They shoved people into their huge, grinning mouths, gnashed them between their stumpish teeth, and spit out the bloody mess. Sometimes they try to swallow someone, only to gag on the corpse and throw it back up with a pitiful groan. Throughout this gruesome process, each grinner kept a plasticky grin on its monstrous purple face. In the 2 hours or so that they were in our world, I think I only saw one or two actually manage to eat someone. They were not fast-moving creatures. They moved slowly, methodically, like underwater dancers in a fish tank version of Earth. They didn't need to be quick, though. The amber aura that preceded their arrival did an excellent job of sedating their victims. Despite the monster's leisurely appearance, they smashed their spindly hands through solid walls like they were papier-mâché. When one set its sights on the McDonald's, it didn't even bother pulling the staff out through the hole left by the red sedan. It just punched its open hand through the back of the restaurant, steady as could be, and plucked someone from their misery. I heard their bones crunch, their body slam into the ground, and then the hand returned. A grinner came to the parking lot. I watched it gnaw on the teens one by one before coughing them up. It took about 20 minutes to get through all 5. It was equal parts horrifying and utterly disgusting. The Grinners were... I'll stop there because I messed up Grinners, but okay. Anybody else catch that he stood there and watched for 20 minutes while these things were just eating people? You're just going to sit there and watch, dude? I mean, I guess depression's a hell of a thing. But you just watch people get eaten for 20 minutes? Damn. You didn't do anything? Yeah, you know. No is the answer. No, absolutely not. Maybe they deserved it. I don't know. But did the bird deserve it? I don't think so. Anyways, back to our reading here. What happened? Utterly disgusting. Okay. Yeah, no. I was right there. All right. Whoa. Okay. Just scroll down. Here we go. The Grinners were humanoid in form, roughly speaking. They ranged from around 30 to 100 feet tall, though their limbs and digits were proportioned like sticks of bamboo. Their skin looked like an indigo like indigo, not like an indigo. You guys probably can't hear that because I have noise canceling on for you. But there is a plane flying over right now. So I gotta wait for it to fly over. It's weird. Sometimes, like, I can get away with, an hour maybe before a car drives by with super loud music, or, a plane flies over, or there is a set of train tracks near the end of town over here. So it's actually mandatory for them to blow the whistle anytime they're passing a populated area. So they have to blow the whistle. No matter how many times I call and complain that they're blowing their whistle, they have to. It's law. So they got to do it. They'll get fired, But it seems like some days, though, because there's a small, little airport out here, mostly just, private planes. It's a little small thing. But it seems like sometimes when I sit down in the booth, somebody puts the call out, right? Attention, attention, it's time for the National Airplane Club to assemble. Let's fly our planes. He's recording. Let's go. Assemble, attention. That's what it feels like. Some days. Nothing you can do about that, right? Unless I wanted to spend like $100,000 and soundproof this section of the room, which is probably what it would take. I don't even know if that would work. I'm not sure. I'm not sure you could prevent the airplane flying directly over your house. It's too loud. It's too loud. Something we have to deal with. So we start over. We stop. We let them fly over. And then we proceed. And we drink our whiskey and we're happy about it, right? All right. Here we go. Where did we leave off? We were describing their sticks of bamboo. Okay, I see right there. Put that at the top so I don't lose track of that. Zoom in a little bit. Oh. No. Boop. Okay, here we go. Their skin looked like indigo candle wax, except for some pinkish coloration near the joints and cheeks. The heads were flat and pentagonal, with starkly pointed chins and cheekbones. Their eyes were huge and unblinking, each the size and shape of a car tire. Their lips were black. Their tongues were black. They had no noses or hair or ears. I call them Grinners because that was the most unsettling thing about them. They were constantly grinning, even when they vomited up their victims. Their grins were toothy and wide and unmoving. When they first arrived, their teeth were gleaming yellow. By the time they left, each one had its teeth stained black with dozens of people's blood. When the grinner in the parking lot was done with the teenagers, it turned its attention to me. Don't like how I said that last line. Let's redo it. It turned its attention to me. Hunched over like a goblin, it crept towards me, grinning the whole time. It got right up to the window, so close that its breath fogged up the glass. Its face alone must have been 10 feet tall. It stared at me like that for several minutes. Strangely, I began to feel annoyed. I had been hoping against hope that I would die in that McDonald's booth, and here was the answers to my prayers. Hesitating. It occurred to me that the creature's smile was not a happy one. There was a mania in its eyes. Nope. We gotta do that a little bit different, because it doesn't make sense in the context of the sentence. That is a flub. There was a mania in its eyes, yes, but also a sort of nihilistic anguish, an emotion I'd encountered on many a sleepless night in my life. Behind me, the grinner that was attacking the kitchen spat out another victim. I stopped because I was like, wait, he was attacking the kitchen? Yeah, that's what it says. Not literally the kitchen, but the people in the kitchen. But my brain went, you can't attack a kitchen. Yeah, you can. Here we go. Let's try that again. Where did I leave off? I need to like remember to scroll to the top. There we go. Behind me, the Grinner that was attacking the kitchen spat out another victim. Was this whole invasion just an elaborate, cruel ritual of self-harm? Were the monsters attacking us because they couldn't eat us? I thought about my earlier idea to shove napkins down my throat until I choked. The Grinner grinned even wider. I must have been an odd find. A human who was just sitting placidly in front of some chicken nuggets and watching the whole world unravel around them, instead of tearing my hair out or weeping or trying to kill myself. I think the Grinner saw a reflection of itself in me. I don't know why else it would leave me untouched, only to reach its hand into the auto body shop next door, retrieve a white-haired old man, and chew him like all the others. I wandered around the city for the remainder of the invasion, having similar interactions with at least a dozen other Grinners. They seemed to like me, I think. I have made a few friends among the survivors. Then all of us were extremely depressed when we arrived. Nope. Boop, blub. I have made a few friends among the survivors, and all of us were extremely depressed when they arrived. It seems to be the one thing that connects us. I don't know what comes next. I still want my... I still want to end my life, but I don't think I will. There's nothing to live for now, just like there was before. I love messing up on the last sentence. It really just takes the oomph out of it. I mean, you know, when it's edited, nobody will notice the difference. But that's it. That's the end of the story for tonight. The short story. I told you it was short. It's a good one, though. Did you guys enjoy it? I enjoyed the crap out of this thing. It was kind of, I liked it because of the, not only like the macabre kind of, but it's so different from a lot of the stuff that's like been on the podcast lately. Like it doesn't really wrap it up. And not that a lot of them do, but the way that it kind of comes to an end is kind of like, I don't know, it's just different. It's hard to explain. I like the overall sense of like, I'm depressed. I didn't get eaten by these damn grinning things. I was really looking forward to die, but shit, I guess they just didn't want to eat me. Well, am I going to kill myself? Nah, probably not. You know, I just love that kind of like nonchalantness, but yet it's still kind of dark. And it's still a little depressing at the same time. And it fits with the whole theme for like this month too, which, announcement, I can talk about the Halloween episode that's coming up. I made a little post on the social media. Let's get out of the booth. Let's turn on the air conditioning again so I can stop just melting in here. And let's talk. Let's have a chat. Let's sit back and relax for a little bit and just talk for a little bit until I can't stand myself talking anymore, which is I'm getting really close to. But I'll meet you back over there. Meet you back over there. All right. Hey, it's kind of a record. I only had, according to the counter here, I think 20 flubs. That's pretty good. I only read for like 10 minutes, but you know, hey. That's pretty good. That's good for me, you know. Doing good. Doing good. Today's been one of those days, right? I've had the ups and the downs kind of happen all throughout today. It seems it's like for one, thing that brings you up, you got the other thing that kind of brings you down. Before I forget and get into just who knows where we're going to go with this
conversation. Let me plug one more time the artist that you're seeing up there, so you can check out her stuff or click on that link to check out her stuff on X. She has stuff on Instagram as well, but I think she does her primary stuff through X right now until she converts out of the dark side. I don't know. I've got no problem with X really, but I know Musk isn't everyone's favorite. And then also just a little bit of information about the author and the book itself. I think that's the command. Yep. Well, it's not really a book. It's just a short story in this case. Oh, I should have put the other story stuff up there. Let me look up the other stories actual site here for a minute, because I want to make sure that I can plug them now that I am back at the main desk here. Oh, hey, awesome. Oh man, am I gonna mess up this name too? E.T. Oh man, I'm gonna mess it up. Liz, can I call you Liz? Because I'm gonna mess up the rest. E to the Liz. Man, I feel dumb now. That's pretty easy. E to the Liz. I thought it was all one thing. I'm sorry, I'm not good at this. Thank you for the raid. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Raid to the Liz. There we go. Everyone messes it up. I know. I can't complain though. Mine's 4, 5, 6. Like 4, 5, 6. I did it to myself. I know. How's it going? It's going great. How was your stream? I got to give you the whole. Did it actually shout you out? Oh, wow. I got 2 raids all at once. Okay. Hopefully it shouted you out there. If not, I'm going to scroll up and make sure first. Let me scroll down. Michael Psycho. Oh, hey, how's it going? I see you around. Thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate it. Now you're here twice, Neff. Well, you know what? That's double as good as once, right? Now there's 2 of you, which is great. 1 of you's great. 2 of you's even better, right? What could be better? All right. Make sure that it actually shouted you out. It did, I think. It did. Good. Awesome. I'll have to actually make sure that I have checked you out as well. Send you a follow. There you go. And if anybody was here and not there, make sure that you follow. Let's spread the love. Yeah, see you later, Neff. Thank you so much for joining in. I appreciate it. And hey, yeah, no problem. If you have to raid and run, go for it. No problem at all. I understand you got to do the after streamy stuff and, wrap it all up and tie it in a bow. And you've been streaming, so you're kind of tired. Unfortunately, we've kind of come to the end of the reading a little bit. Really good story tonight, though. It was a short story that we did. I am a narrator. During my second job, I guess, my day job, I work in cybersecurity, but I'm trying to become an audiobook narrator. And I would love for that to be the day job. That's the dream, right? Diana 1991 just followed. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. But it, yeah, that's kind of what the plan is become an audiobook narrator and voice actor. I've been doing voice actory type of things since about 2015. I did my first audiobook, I think, in 2018, and I apologize, it wasn't good. Everybody's got to have a first book, right? Everybody's going to have a first book, but it wasn't great. I might have to redo that for those guys. Ooh, sorry, I've learned a lot since then. But that's what I'm trying to do on the channel is bring some audiobook stuff to the new category that we have, writing and reading, which is fantastic. I've been able to reach and make friends with and watch a whole bunch of writing streamers, which is awesome. And I can meet fellow narrators and voice category. I read your thing that said, I love the new category. And then I said it. Do you do that? Because I just did that. Meeting a lot of cool people, I think is what I was going to say. But the category is great, actually. Yeah. So many cool people. Absolutely. A lot of really cool people. And anyway, so what I've been trying to do on Wednesday, what this is, every Wednesday I try to read at least the first chapter or a little bit of a short story, or in this case, the whole short story, because I had permission to, from an author's work for free. Just, hey, you want to hear your stuff read out loud by a narrator? Let's do it. Throw me your first chapter and let's read it. I think it's a really cool way to get a little bit more exposure, to a different community than maybe you would get. And it's good practice for me too. I mean, there's the catch, right? There's always a catch. And the catch is I get to practice narrating more, right? But it's been working out pretty good. And today we read a short story, horror story, which is, hey, fitting for Halloween month, right? Very smart. Oh, thank you. I think so too. But this is a little bit about the author today and their story, The Grinners, which you will actually be able to hear fully produced with sound effects and music and the whole deal on the Other Stories podcast. And I was kind of looking up their website to make sure I gave you the right one, because there's a couple of different The Other Stories podcasts out there. This is theotherstories.net. So I want to make sure that I'm clear there. Neff, that's why I started Twitch too, but you're much better organized than I am. No, I'm not. It's all held together by string, floss, really. Can't even really call it string, and duct tape, I think, is what it's all do. I got to redo everything because this is a nightmare. I'm making it work. I'm making it work. I barely got the whole booth camera and this camera work. Anyways, back to the Other Stories thing. They're a horror podcast, short stories, and they do a theme every month, right? And one story a week. What's really cool about them is if you're a writer and you like to write short horror stories and you have a story that you would think would fit that month, you could submit your short story to them and you might get picked, and then it gets produced. They give it to a narrator like myself. I sit down and read it, send it off to their production team after I'm done. They go through, clean it up, make it all, nice and engineer-y, pretty with the voices and the sounds. And then they add sound effects to it. And then the musician comes in, or they put in music that was provided to them by a musician and fully produce it. Really well done. A couple gentlemen out of the UK started it, and I started narrating for them back in 2015 when they first started up. And I have not stopped since because it is fantastic and fun. I just love reading the short stories. Because I didn't know at the time, but I really like the horror thriller genre. Like, I enjoy it. It's just, I don't know, something I didn't know that I liked until I started reading it. And I was like, oh, I kind of like this. I love the cliffhangers and the different themes that they do. It's just kind of cool. So I highly encourage you to check it out. That's theotherstories.net for their podcast. And this will come up in, actually, I don't think it's this month. I think it's next month. Because at the end of this month, they're having their Halloween special. And I believe that starts on either the 23rd or the 26th. They didn't put it on their website yet. But they just announced it on their social media stuff, that it's coming out here soon, which is going to be, they always do something special for Halloween because it's a horror themed podcast. You have to for Halloween, right? That's like a prerequisite. So this year, it's a story about a team of people that go into a haunted house, if you will. And it's done a little bit differently than they normally do it, in that each character that's going to be the main character for that episode, there's 6 episodes, will be not only doing their characters' voices, but they'll be narrating the story. But all of the characters are doing all of their own voice lines. So it's almost like a multicast audiobook, if you will. Not quite an audio drama, but like a multicast audiobook is the best way I can describe it. I do the very first episode and I do the very last episode to bring us in and take us out. And the story is really good. I liked it a lot. It was a lot of fun to do. And I think you'll like it. But anyways, that's theotherstories.net, and that's their Halloween special, which is, it's going to be good this year. I like this one. I think last year it was a twisted reality Alice in Wonderland, where everything was horror themed, but it was essentially Alice in Wonderland meets Wes Craven almost, it was really good too. So if you go back and check out that episode, it's awesome. I want to get into audio dramas more than just audiobook narration. And then Liz said, I'll check it out. Yes, but that floss and tape involves an actual booth and putting together demos. That's where the real work comes in.
really. And you should, Neff. You have a really good voice and you read really well. The Odd Thomas stuff that you're reading right now, I actually read the first couple and then I listened to the audiobook for the last couple, and you remind me of the actual audiobook narrator. You're really good at it. You have a perfect voice for that. He was a little less nasally, so hopefully you've gotten over your cold, buddy. I'm sorry. I felt so bad the last stream. Like, oh, that sounds painful. Hopefully you're better. Are you streaming tonight? Hopefully you're streaming tonight. I'll catch you if you are. And maybe I'll toss you a raid. Who knows? We're going to look through the writing and reading category here in a minute, after I get conversing with you fine people from the raid. Yeah, I'm feeling worlds better. Oh, good. Good. I'm working on it. I can't put a proper booth up until we get our own place. Totally understand that. Glad you're feeling better too, by the way. But essentially what I ended up getting for my booth, and I'm going to upgrade it here soon because I'm having problems with noise. My neighborhood's really noisy and there's an airport nearby, and I'm trying to cut out as much noise as possible and stop the interruptions. So I'm going to invest in like a nicer booth. But what I have right here would probably work for you too. Essentially, you go to the hardware store, you get yourself some PVC pipes, and you put moving blankets around it. And that's essentially what I have. Like I was dumb and well, not dumb, but there's a company that makes them and you can just buy it from them. It's way more expensive than just building it yourself. But if you're like on a budget, like most people, and I definitely was, but like I said, I'm dumb and just think about building myself because I'm not like super handy. I'm not like a super handy person, but you could definitely put it together with some moving blankets, and that'll catch all the reflections kind of the echoing type of noise that'll go into your microphone, right? And that's good for most people. Or if you have an interior closet with coats in it, leave the coats in there and put your mic in there. Perfect. You wouldn't believe the amount of good quality recordings come out of people's closets with coats and jackets in it, because it's perfect. You have all the material in there to catch all the reflections, and it's kind of quiet because it's on an inside kind of, wall. If it's a coat closet or something, it's perfect. You don't really need much, but it's claustrophobic, right? So that's an issue for some. And that little 3x3 booth gets claustrophobic, right? I'm glad I don't have claustrophobia because I would definitely have it in there. It's trying to work on it in there, if you know what I mean. I have room for foam box that sits on the desk. Oh yeah, you can do that too. Just one of those like reflection boxes. They're okay. They'll work. Hey, that's what you got. That's what you got, right? Right now I just have curtains behind me and in front of me. When we move, I've been given leave to take over a closet. Sweet. If not a whole room. Ooh, for recording. Do it. You really should. You should get into audiobooks if that's your thing, of sitting down and just reading a book for a long time. And it sounds like you are. You do that on stream. You might as well put a whole book together and get paid for it, right? So, or at least voice acting, because you're good at that too. I've heard your stuff. So do it, man. You're good. You really should do it. It takes, I understand though, it's a commitment. It is a big time commitment. So there's that. So I get it. Trust me. I like the books because I like stories. And also I can play all the characters exactly. A lot of people miss that, but I wouldn't hesitate to take a job on a show or something. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's one thing that people miss a lot of times when they get into audiobooks is they forget that if you're doing like a voice acting thing for like a video game, you're that character usually. You're one, maybe two characters, right? You might be an extra or something, or depending on how that thing is cast, you could be a couple of characters. But when you're doing an audiobook, you're every character. And I think it gives you a really awesome opportunity to really flex those acting chops and work on those acting chops, because you're the farmer's daughter. You're the farmer's wife. You're the farmer, right? You're the cow if it has a voice line, right? That's what it is when you're the audiobook narrator, right? There's a cold read groups that I'm a part of that's just all audiobook narrators, and we'll do a play. We're doing Dracula right now, and you just get when you go in, you're randomly assigned a character, and we do the play
because in an audiobook, you're every character. So masculine voices get female roles and vice versa. It doesn't matter. If you're randomly selected, you're doing the voice, and it's a lot of fun. And it really gives you a chance to like really work on the acting aspect of it. It's a lot of fun. So I would suggest, and if you want to, there's a cold read group that does stuff primarily for audio dramas, that does cold reads twice a week. So if you're interested, I can pass that along to you now, if you're wanting to do that. And that could happen. I'm in a Discord run by a dude who's got a show on Adult Swim right now. Oh, super cool. I love Adult Swim stuff. It's like you can watch cartoons as an adult and get away with it. You're like, no, but it's an adult thing, right? But it's a cartoon. I love it. And a lot of it's funny too. I got stuck in Dracula in high school. Okay, I was supposed to direct. Teacher said I had to be Van Helsing because there was nobody who could physically oppose Dracula. That's awesome. That's awesome, though. I mean, you got to be in Dracula as Van Helsing. That's a cool character, actually. A pretty sweet gig. I don't know if your high school self really enjoyed that moment, but that sounds cool to me. Bodyhead, if you've seen it. Not my style, but I'd still take the job. Oh, okay. I have not seen Bodyhead. I will check it out, though. I don't really watch like a lot of stuff anymore, though, because I'm so consumed with making posts on social media and doing my homework. Right? My audiobook homework, right? But occasionally when I get a chance to watch some stuff, I'll have to check that one out. Bodyhead. I'm going to check that one out for sure. This was a good story too. The Grinners. I really enjoyed the read through of that. So I was talking today when I first sat down about how it was kind of one of those good moments and bad moments all at the same time, right? Like you got good news and then bad news. So in the last stream on last Friday, I did a kind of a live stream of me doing the narration process, kind of the first glance or first read through really aloud of an audition for an audiobook. And then I went back and I re-recorded it because I had a couple of questions too that I needed to ask. And I had to figure some things out with the author. In this case is the rights holder. He's an indie author. And anyways, I got those answers back and then I did another pass and then a final pass and then turned in my audition. And I got the book, which is the super good news. And not only did I get the book, but he offered me 8 more books. So there's 5 in the series. He thinks he wants to redo the first one because the first narrator didn't give it the accents and voices that he really wanted. He kind of did it in a New York style, but he wanted it in a Middle Eastern meets the Midwestern kind of thing. If you're listening to the stream then a little bit, that's what I was trying to do and failing, but I think I finally got it down by the time I turned it in. Apparently I did. So he wants to just redo it and then have me do the whole 5-book series. And then there's a prequel series that goes along with it that he wants to come out afterwards. I find that interesting. Authors do that a lot. Like they'll put out their main story and then go back and write the prequel. The prequel's probably in their head the whole time, or maybe they've written some of it, but they wanted to start in the middle where the action point is, I think is the thought behind it. I'm not a writer. I don't know. I'm a terrible writer, but I can read them words kind of good. So that's what I stick with. But, I love doing all the research for the role, but man, Van Helsing was more lines than any other 2 characters combined. And I never done anything in front of the audience before. Ooh. So it's like your first like acting thing too. Whew. That was yeah. Okay. That'd be a little bit intense. Like the first time when you're doing stuff like that is, I mean, like I could totally, when I do live streaming now, like when I first turn on the camera, I'm like, okay, I'm a little nervous. What do I do with my hands? So I totally get it. And a ton of lines to memorize. At least that way. I don't have to memorize anything. I just read them words. But yeah, the research and like all that kind of stuff is kind of the fun part, right? Even for audiobooks, you still have to do that. You research not only the book, but the author. So you get that kind of in there too. It's a lot of, that's kind of, I like that part of it. Right? I like the reading part of it. Don't get me wrong. That's obviously the main part of it, but I like the research of it too. It's kind of cool.
like researching things and learning about people and the book and more history about characters. And because usually the authors, or I ask for it from the authors, like, hey, give me a little bit of backstory about your characters so I can get kind of more familiar with them before I just jump in and start reading, right? Because characters grow on you, especially if they're good characters. If they're flat characters, they never change. And that's not really a good character, or it's not an important character, right? If it's a main character, it better grow. I like a better picture of who they are when we start. And then by the time the book goes on, they've changed and we've all learned who they are. But I have to start with a little bit of an advantage of knowing who they are, right? I got to bring that to you. So I think it's an important part, at least for me, of like doing an audiobook is that research aspect of it and getting in touch, especially with your characters and getting that backstory. So not 100% necessary, but it really, really, really helps, at least for me. The phrase, I don't know what to do with my hands, is one of the primary reasons I picked PNG tubing. Yeah, that was a thing too. When I first started this, I'm like, man, what do I want my face on it? Like, I got a face for radio, let's be honest. Do I want to do it? And I'm like, maybe they'll just focus on the words and not the face. So I get you though. I understand it. Staring into this thing is odd. But fun. So that's the good news, right? Nailed the audition, got the audiobooks, got a multi-part series. So I'm booked up for a while. And I haven't even finished this sci-fi book that I'm working on right now. That's a 6-parter that she's finishing up the 5th book right now. But I'm going to take a break on that series after I finish this one at the end of this month and start on the new one, to get that one going, and then try to, do one, then the other one, then do the one, then the other one. So that'll be fun. But then the bad news comes. I got a jury duty notice today. At least. So next month is my birthday, and for like my birthday week, I'm going on vacation with the wife. We're going to go down to San Diego and hang out. And at least the jury duty's the week after. At first, when I read it, I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me. I'm going to have to cancel my vacation for jury duty. And then, sweet. It's the week after. So it's like the good news mixed with a little bit of bad news. It's not that bad of news, but it's like, it's annoying, I guess, as more than anything. And it's weird because that's the feeling that I'm like, jury duty. And I get that, I'm sure you can kind of understand that or commiserate with me maybe a little bit. But actually, like, going into the courtroom, I think is kind of fun. It's kind of cool. Like, I've never actually been, like, I've been to the courthouse and I've gone through the line, but I've never gotten picked. Or I've done that where I've called in and they're like, no, not picking you. But I kind of want to be in one because it seems interesting to me, right? Like, I've never actually sat in on a case and, like, listened and then been able to make, a judgment based upon, what we heard and what was presented to us. Like, I kind of like that idea. I know TV romanticizes it a little bit, but I kind of want to do it. I want to see what the whole process is like from start to finish, because I've never been to a trial, right? A criminal or otherwise. And I've never been through the process. So it's completely kind of alien to me, other than what I've seen on Matlock, right? That's, or Murder, She Wrote or something. Like, I don't know anything about it really. Liar, liar. That was about a lawyer, right? I don't know. I know nothing. So I kind of do want to sit in on it. I'm fascinated by it, but at the same time, you get the red notice. I'm like, I don't want to go, but I kind of do. I don't know. It's because I'll be behind on my day job work, I think is what the frustration is from, but bleh. Yeah. Well, yeah. Bleh. That's, yeah. I think that's the general attitude towards that. Right. But anyways, so that shouldn't affect. I don't even know how long the court cases go. Do they last like into the evening sometimes? I don't even know. I imagine it would at least be a few hours, but I would assume that they'd want to start kind of earlier in the day. I don't know. I know nothing about this. I am completely unaware of how any of this works. Maybe it's up to the judge and at their discretion. I got a lot of questions that if I have to actually get, selected and I sit in on them, I'll know the answers to. Maybe I'll share them. As interesting as that could be. This is what it's like to be a juror on the narration stream. I don't know. Anyways, I've been in the courtroom. It's so boring, at least for me, as I have trouble paying attention
when I don't have captions on or I can't see someone's mouth move. I totally understand that. Another reason I did the PNG thing. No, I get it. If you like can't concentrate on what's going on, yeah, that can seem boring. It seems like some cases would be really boring though, because not every trial that you would get selected for is a criminal trial. Some of them are non-criminal, so it probably wouldn't be as exciting, right, as something criminal. As weird as that is to say, I guess, but I'm hoping for a murder. No, I don't know. Well, that's not really, but kinda. I don't know. Is that weird? I don't know. Anyways, before everybody's like, I am out of here. This dude is weird. We should probably raid somebody that's not weird and pass on the favor to somebody else. And I will not this time send everybody to an empty room because I thought the VOD was a live stream. Learn my lesson. Learn my lesson. So let me do it this way. Let me go into the thing. Actually, let me look on. Can I just go to my Twitch? Yes, just Twitch proper. And let's look at my friends list because I have a lot of people on there now that are in that category. Oh, sweet. Yeah. Okay, we have a couple. Let's see who's on. We have, Lady Edgy Fox. I think that's a strong candidate right there. Let's see who we got. They're playing Roblox, so they're not reading or writing right now, so that's not going to be one. They're also playing a video game. Nope, we're going to go to Lady Edgy Fox. So, fantastic reading streamer. And I think she's reading Stephen King still. Or they're reading Stephen King still. So, yeah, it'll be a good time. Anyways, we're going to go there. Lady is amazing. They are great. You'll enjoy it there. Really good reader, really talented as well. One of the first readers I found after I started. Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, I actually found them through you, actually, because you recommended them. And then I found you in their chat. So there you go, right? Because Neff is everywhere if you don't know. So let's raid them and make sure that I do this right. Okay. So bear with me while I raid. See, it doesn't work sometimes. Okay, there we go. When it pops up, then I know it's working. Okay. Lady. Perfect. Okay, we're going to go raid there. Thank you so much for the follows. Thank you guys for listening and lurking if you tuned in today. I really, really appreciate it. And we're going to be... I got blasted with a whole bunch of requests for chapters to read on the live stream. So I might have to make more than one day a week dedicated to just reading now, which is a fantastic problem to have because some of these stories, they sound so good. There's just so many in my head right now. I can't focus on one. There's one where two guys are in a rock band and there's this. Anyways, I'll get to that later, but we're going to have much, much more every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Pacific time. I'll be here at least. And if that changes, I'll let you know so that you know when we're going to go live. I'm not going to do another stream this Friday probably because I need to redo how the stream happens because I need to make it more efficient. But anyways, let's raid. See you guys later. Thank you so much. Thank you, Nev. Thank you for hanging out. I really appreciate you, bud. Here we go. Boom, diddy, boom, boom. Boom, boom.
Disc down beside him, opened the hamper. Munched one of the popkins. It was delicious. He considered a second, and then reminded himself that he didn't know how long he would have to make these rations last. It also crossed his mind that the brilliant light shining from the disc could be seen by anything that happened to be in the vicinity. And some of those things might not be friendly. Oh, hello! Thank you so much for the raid. Thank you guys for joining. We could restart. Hello, guys. Thank you for the pause. Got Neff. Hello, Neff. We got 456. Thank you for the raid. There's supposed to be stuff up here to comment on such things, but for some reason it will not